weekend all. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your weekend edition of your metal market wrap-up. And this is for Friday, September 24th, 2021. All right, my friends. Well, the Fed lowered the hammer this week. We're going to get tapering. So it's the most advanced warning telling you what's going to happen, discounted tapering event. The Fed refused to let a taper tantrum happen, and it hasn't. We haven't had the tapering yet, but it will eventually come depending on how the jobs data for September looks at the end of when we get that report. And I think it'll be not next week, but it's the week after that we get it. I don't believe it's next Friday. I could be wrong. I'll look it up, but I don't think so. And when we get it, we'll have an idea if they're going to go ahead. A strong number gets it good. It has to be a really terrible number for them to be shook up and say, okay, let's wait a little bit longer. The event of the day in the cryptocurrencies, they got smashed as they got hit down here. And the reason is China. China has the power to say, we don't want any of our citizens to deal in cryptocurrencies in any manner whatsoever. And they said that today. Now, the warning was there because 9 months ago, they already told you when they put out their own version for a sample testing what it was about, right? They warned you. And that's where you're at. Do you honestly think that the G7 economy is going to let the cryptos exist with anonymity? And that's what they were invented for. Be able to transfer money, nobody knows what it is, you're avoiding taxes, God forbid the world ends, I've got my wallet, you can't get it. Those days are coming to an end. You're in regulation heaven. This is like the old commodity days when I became a broker, and it was. You know, all you had to do was sign a legal pad, a pad. It was not a paper, not a legal paper, to your name, and you became, with the old authority, a commodity broker. I did it in the 60s. Eventually, you had to be tested and all, and you're regularly tested. But that's what it was. Well, you're at that phase. This is the Wild West in cryptos, and it's cracking down. At the end of the day, you still want to own them, fine, but it's going to be regulated. It will not be, I'm making a prediction, it will not be that you're using your Bitcoin as you think to buy something in a store. You might be able to trade it in for a Federal Reserve digital currency or a portion of it against it, but they're going to tax you. And if you don't believe it, you're paying tax in theory already. It's going to get worse and worse. Enough said on that subject. And each time China makes this type of move, and they've done it regularly, the break off of it has been a buying opportunity. So if I'm a guy in cryptos, I'm telling you, I don't think this was a bear event. I think it was a bull event. Enough said there. When we look at gold, it's ugly. It started getting ugly a while back, and I've said that to you, but as a pure technician, the market's getting itself down on a monthly chart into oversold territory. Any reading under 30 is oversold. It's having great trouble extending the break down to the Bollinger Band. And it's fighting a battle month after month at the 18-month moving average of closes. Trend down, but that's what's going on. When we look at a weekly chart of only closing prices to just get a feel for where price is going, it's in a downtrend. It keeps failing at the 18-week average. That gives you the bias to the downside. Now let's look at a bar chart of weekly gold. In the gold, the market has been sort of like the daily chart, stepping down in a manner a little bit lower. Hasn't taken out that all-important low yet. The market doesn't have a trend. I know you're going to say, what is he talking about? Well, as I see it, you got a higher high, lower low. A downtrend is lower highs and lower lows. An uptrend are higher lows, higher highs, and no trend is this. In some manner, you have a higher high and a lower low. I don't care which comes first. The support of the market, right here, the 100-week average, it showed itself there. The zone showed itself back here. And to make matters even more important, each time it's come to the lower Bollinger Band with that number, with the 100, it is held. Why do I think that's going to change? I don't right now. Does that mean it's a buy there to get up there? No. If you're using the futures market, you better be careful. Leverage is your enemy, not your friend. I think you want to be with the trend, and there is none. When I look at slow stochastics, they're flat. I'm not really interested in gold right here. I wish I could tell you I was, but I'm not. The gold-silver ratio on a weekly basis still favors gold. The higher the number goes, the weaker silver is in relation to it. And silver is very much on a weekly chart in a bear trend, but it is oversold. It's at the deadly combination where it often holds the 100-day average in the lower Bollinger Band. You've already come alive in copper. Copper they took down big time. Big, watch this. Evergrande. Boom, takes copper all the way down. Why? To the 410 level, Bollinger Band number. Why did it come down? If this big property developer wasn't going to finish up the homes that we thought that we know that they've gotten deposits on, whoa, lumber, you don't need that lumber. You don't need the copper that is in the stream. But if, as the ministry today did, they take over the money of Evergrande, and I'm talking the housing ministry, and here's what they said. Evergrande, go pay your interest payments. But in the meantime, before you make that payment, we're taking your bank money and we're going to oversee it so that the supply chain, the people we're buying our lumber, our copper, our labor from, they get paid. We're not going to worry about it, but yes, you've got to make that payment. So what did Evergrande do? They can't make a payment. Now, there are different divisions of the company. My instincts are this is all being worked out in back rooms. There's not going to be a saving of the company as we know it. They're going to have to, remember, they go to jail, these head men in China. It's not the United States. They go to jail if they don't follow the party line in what they're being told. So they're going to finish up these projects. They're going to have this where they work with their debtors and hopefully get extensions. Gee, we do that in the United States all the time, and see if they can work out of the problem. So I think the market realized that, and that's why the market held there. I call it Dr. Copper. I call it the canary in the mine. Copper is the one metal you want to watch for what the world looks like. Right now it's being run by whatever is going on at this point in China. The next thing I look at is platinum. Well, platinum's getting all of a sudden a bounce, and the market, by Jove, is out of an embedded reading status. Did ever embed, though. Both numbers are under 14. Both were under 20. Both were not under 20. It never embedded. It was oversold and it got a bounce. And where did it bounce from? The first challenge again. Here you hit the Bollinger Band, you turned away. If you have not taken the enhanced Bollinger Band course that is on our website, www.iraepstein.com, under education, at least take a look at it. It doesn't cost you anything. I think you might find it fascinating. But this is where the market should be holding. It is not bullish. It is not a sign to go long. It's a sign not to be short there. Dollar index. The dollar index on the weekly chart is bullish, but it's overbought. Again, fly that airplane. You don't want the problem in the air. So why am I going to put my money in that? Embed? I'm excited. Correct the overbought condition, have higher lows, higher highs over the 18-week average. I love it, but not that. So you put it all together, you try to come up with a game plan, and that's what I do. And before you go running away, and I know many of you stop right here, wrong. Let me tell you how you wake up, because I do the same thing. I get up at 4 in the morning every morning. First thing I do is I flip on the TV, and I want to see prices. What did the market do? Now, the different stations do different things. Bloomberg has the general talk of the market, which I love. The indexes, they're very heavy in that. The currencies, what's going on. CNBC, they're going to talk to you the individual stocks that go on. You know that. And, of course, world events, but more or less the individual stocks. Fox is going to give you a mixture of the politics, very much so, with whatever the prices are doing, more or less. Not what Bloomberg does, but more general in nature. I do something else. I've got that. Now, for you, I go in and immediately read like a madman. By 4:30, got my robe on, I'm reading like crazy, I got my coffee already, and I start writing my notes down for my newsletter. Now, at 5:30 in the morning, I'm ready to record. And that's where you get the advantage. Let's assume you want to see the gold chart and what does an analyst think about it. Well, you got to wait for it to come on Bloomberg if you're going to get that and somebody to talk about it, not from me. I'm going to put it out in the same order each and every time. I start recording at 5:40. I'm going to tell you where I think the chart looks like on the daily, sometimes the weekly basis with it. Buy here, sell there, do nothing. So you're getting a lot of information. But I'm doing this on 40 markets at a time for you. And then I'm not through. I know that the importance is that the SPDR's ETFs count on that. You know the metal markets there. I'm mentioning metals because this is the metal tape, right? I'm covering those, GDX, SLV, GLD. I'm covering all of them right there for you. URA at times, the uranium, they're all there. Why? Because now you have a game plan. So first thing in the morning in the futures, I'm going to cover you there. Then at 9 o'clock, I start recording the SPDR. Why 9, not 8:30 when the market opens? Excuse me. Too many of the reports come out, the government reports, between 8:30 and 9. So I want to give a set time. I tried to do it the other way, and then I find myself, I got to look at the screen and tell you what this is going to do and what's the reaction. 9 o'clock is when I'm ready to go by 9:05, and I'm recording. And now I'm ready to go. Now you get that. So that's the edge. It's not expensive. It's inexpensive. For $16.90, you're getting 48 videos a month, each an average of 17 to 20 minutes long. You don't have to watch the whole video. The way that I create the video, there's a slide bar on the bottom. You can slide right to the areas you want. And in the SPDR ETF, I'm covering also individual stocks that I like. I pick them. I'll get notices from our subscribers and I put them in. Give it a try. Just go to our website under research. It's all explained there. The enhanced Bollinger Band course and the other part, all explained at the other section. Have a great weekend. I'm Ira Epstein.